Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Friday of Grounded Football Tottenham Hotspur on the First 11 YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow all the gents' social medias. Mark doesn't promote his social media because he's too big for Twitter now, but Alan and Jacob are YouTube slags. They will jump on any stream, any space. They are there for you. Welcome, everyone.
Social media slags.
We've already got, obviously, Prime in the comments, Marcello Doete, Roberto Carlos, Matsley Cole, Matt Alexander Doherty. I mean, obviously, yes, Prime. I expected him to be here tonight, Alan, and I think he'll go for you as well with your weak apology to Prime last week. I apologise like a man. You've been very weak.
Hold on, what do you mean? I didn't apologise. I'm not apologising for one or two good performances over 2 seasons, like over a season and a half or whatever. No, he's got to do it consistently. It was a good performance, though. I'll give him that. But I'm not going to apologise and say he's this, that, and the other when he's only done it a handful of times.
Well, anyway, Alan, pleasantries, of course. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you. Had a really busy week. I'm exhausted, but it's been good. It was a good result at the weekend. Hopefully, we can follow up with another good result.
All moved, all sorted.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
pretty much.
Welcome back, Mark. After your week vacation, how are you?
Thank you. Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. Yeah, well rested. So one game a week now, so we can only get stressed out once a week. So not twice a week now. But yeah, lots to talk about. Good win last week, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yes, very good. And Jacob, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, all good, all good. Just been busy with work, and yeah, as much as you want Tottenham to play twice a week, it's less stress with them once a week, like Mark said. So yeah, I've been good and just looking forward to tomorrow's fixture.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Prime has told the truth. Ryan apologised like a man. Alan apologised like an Arsenal fan.
How dare you disrespect me like that? I'm no Arsenal fan. Arsenal are weak-minded. I'm not.
Oh, well, Alan, let's get straight into it then.
Yeah.
Last weekend, a very good home win. But did you see that after half hour? Did you even see that after their first goal? How did you feel when that Fabian Schär free kick went in?
Typical Spurs. Typical, like in the tough moments, we bottle it. We'll always have that team that come to us and get a result. Like when we just really need it. And after that first half performance, yeah, we got a goal right at the end there. But I think we're all sitting there thinking, typical Spurs. I think even Mark put it in a WhatsApp group. Same old Spurs, going 1-0 down. And we got an equaliser. And yeah, I was just thinking, I'll take any, like I said, I think on the last stream, I'll take any win by 1-0 because that's not the type of game where you go and win 4-5-1 and build up your goal difference. I was wrong in that second half, But as good as the more we played better, like the better we were. For me, Newcastle just didn't come out. They were awful. They show no impetus, and especially I think they've got to the point now where they're safe. They're not going to be dragged into it, and I think that's where complacency comes into it. You're not going to be at it all the time. So I think that's what happened there, and we punished them, which was good because we need to build up a goal difference, which we have. Let's just hope we can keep that going. But second half performance was aided by Newcastle's second half performance, but. Yeah, it was shocking to see who was on the scoreline. I'm not going to lie. It was like pretty much it was Newcastle 1, Deadwood FC 4, because Son ain't Deadwood, but the rest of them all were, let's be honest.
You just have to get your digs out there, don't you?
Of course I do.
You just can't be happy at all.
No, I can't forget. I can't forget all the drab that's gone on this season. So when I can give them praise for what they've done, Doxy, Romero grabbing the goal, great. Bergwijn in his little cameo, getting the goal and also looking a little bit decent, like he wanted to take shots on and actually not be scared anymore on the pitch. So yeah, good bits and all that. But when you've considered the last season and a half, 2 seasons worth of dross that they've put forward, well, Romero this season, but it's even been worse than Doxy and that combined. Of course I'm not going to forget. Of course I'm still going to criticise where I can.
We wouldn't have you any other way, Alan. I mean, Mark, me and Jacob spoke about it on Courage.com podcast on Monday. Do you think Lloris was at fault for the goal? Do you think he could have done better? Or you're on mute, Mark?
Oh, I think he could have done much better. I think it was absolutely his fault. I think he was unsighted. But he's a shot stopper. He's always been one of the weak ones on passing and kicking the ball out, but he's always been one of the best at stopping shots. I 100% and on the WhatsApp, I 100% put that down to him. Yeah, he saw it late, but it actually comes off his palm, doesn't it, and goes in instead of being quite solid. So, yeah, look, we'll go back and we'll look, and he saved us more times than he's let us down. So, you allowed a few of those, but yeah, like Alan said, we came out the second half and went from second to third to fourth to fifth gear very quickly. And I know we've rubbed Doherty and all these players, but I don't know. Maybe Conte is starting to get a tune out of them. Maybe it does take a bit of time just for Conte's plan to work and for the guys to buy into something. And I read a stat somewhere. Maybe I'm wrong. I read a stat somewhere. Since January, I think we scored more goals than anybody, or with the second highest, 25 or 27 goals. So
those goals.
I don't care what anybody says. Goals win matches, don't they? That's the old saying. You score 5, somebody's got to score 6 against you to beat you. So, we carry on winning 4-0, 5-0, and I know it's not going to happen all the time, but you can only play the people you're putting in front. Yeah, I get what Alan says. I don't think Newcastle came out, but I think we started off okay in the game. I didn't think we were poor in the first 10, 15 minutes. And then we seemed to get complacent again and things like that. I thought second half again, Bentancur for me was the man. I got so much time for this Bent in all his games he's played. That one game where he didn't turn up, but I really think, and I just think the other guys now, we talk about Kane, we talk about Son every week, we talk about Romero, but I think some of the other guys, Dyer, he's been okay, and I know we don't want to talk about Emerson Royal and Doherty, but I think they had quite good games. And Doherty, the last 2 or 3 games, he's like, he's got a quandary now because Sergio Reguilon's he's fit. Who does he play on the left? Does he continue playing with Doherty? Because why wouldn't you if he's doing what he's doing? I don't know. Do you put Reguilon, who's a natural left footer, or do you carry on with? So, yeah. And Bergwijn, he's been scoring for fun for Netherlands, and Netherlands are no pushover. So, listen, I think we're in a good place at the moment. I don't want to, tomorrow's going to be a tough test, but I think we score first and then we'll blow them apart. So, yeah, very excited, very, very, very interested to see how the next 7 games or 8 games go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Jacob, how did you feel in that first half? Obviously, before the Newcastle goal, did you feel that we were on top in the game, or did you just look at it as a boring game, both sides still trying to get back into it after the international break?
Yeah, well, after the game, when I calmed down, I realised that it must have just been the group getting back together after the international break because we were in good form before that. You're expecting the continuity of the performance that we had in the previous ones against West Ham and Leeds and Everton and things like that. So obviously, I was like we all were. We were probably stressed because we dominated possession. We had a lot of the ball, but it was lethargic. It felt like Matt Doherty might make a good run on the left, but it would take 4 passes to get it out to him. And then we know he's going to delay the attack by another second because he's got a sort of jink inside to do anything with the ball rather than taking it down with his left foot. So it's one of those ones that if we didn't equalise with Ben Davies, we might have won, but I don't think we'd have blown him away much. I just think that Ben Davies goal, it not only gave the players a boost, us fans would have been thinking that as well, because I remember watching the game thinking exactly what Alan said about, oh, here we go. I remember putting it in the WhatsApp group. As soon as that ball went down, me and Mark were both like, here we go. And then the goal goes in, you just know it's coming. So for Ben Davies to equalise, 3 minutes beforehand, again, I didn't think we were going to blow him away, but I thought he's going to be a cagey second half and we're going to win. But then the way we blew him away, I was smiling for about 2 hours, I reckon. I was just walking around the house doing whatever I had to do, and I just had a grin on my face because that's the sort of stuff you want to see at Tottenham. With the players that we got, we should be doing that to Newcastle's and all that. No disrespect to their clubs, but we should be beating them properly with the players that we've got, especially with Harry Kane in the form that he's in. So, yeah, I was happy with the second half. But, for us to get into the Champions League, we need we need a lot of halves like that, because even though on paper we should be beating them sides, and we've got a more favourable fixture list than Arsenal. If you take that for granted, you know, football's a funny game. Arsenal might have a crap fixture, but they might go and get a load of wins out of it. So we just got to do what we're doing, and as long as we win every game, bar maybe Liverpool, I don't see Arsenal getting more points than us.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, Alan, before I come to you, obviously Prime's asking you to stop shaking your head because his Irish right back is dragging your club to top 4.
It's a funny guy, man.
Evening to Carl as well. Welcome to the show again. He agrees with Jacob that goal for our time was so vital. But before I go to your question, Alan, I feel like you've got a response for Mr. Latimer's Prime.
Like I said, 2 or 3 performances isn't dragging us to top 4. People, I mean, he's showing up now, Kane, for the second half of the season, stuff like that. Him, those performances, Kulusevski and all that are dragging us to top 4 at this moment in time. So it's not Doherty. I'll give him credit for a decent performance and a good goal, and he's been a bit more consistent recently, but I'm not.
I mean, Alan, how did you feel before the game? Obviously, was you like the majority of Twitter when the lineup was announced? We know Reguilon at left back and Emerson was at right back, Doherty at left back. Did you lose a bit of confidence going into the game once the lineup was announced?
I'll be honest. Any performance, any team sheet that goes with Royal in it, you lose confidence because he's just not the type of player we needed or thought we were getting. But you know, he had a decent performance, not gonna lie. Like I said, like I don't see in Alan St. Maximin, and only when he was running did he get like running at full speed, receiving the ball at speed. Was he getting past Royal when it was Royal done a good standing in face to face, like standing him up? I don't think St. Maximin got past him, so he had a really good performance, and maybe Conte can get something out of him for the rest of the season. But it's an area we need to get an upgrade. Yeah, I don't know. I think Reguilon's not going to be here next season. I think he's going back to Madrid. That's fine. So it's the areas we need to improve on. But, you know, Sessegnon, I think now is back in training and he's back. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah.
But I would say, I would put Sessegnon or Reguilon in at left and have and put Doxy back to right back because, he had a good game, Royal, but I think they're both not at the level for Spurs, but Doherty has been more consistent than Royal. And I think coming up against some of the teams, especially away to Villa, I think you're going to have a harder game than it is at home to Newcastle. So I would try and revert back to the starting 11 we have, or as close as you can get in like recent weeks, because Villa are going to be a different test away from home.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, obviously Jacob's spoken about it already. Carl has put it in the comments about the goal. That goal back for us was key, as without that, he thinks Newcastle would have come out trying to hang on to a lead. So, Mark, how important was that Davis goal? Not just the goal, but how quickly we actually pulled it back as well.
I think it was essential. You go into half-time where instead of being 1-0 down, you 1-1. I bet you Conte's team talk was different. And you could see the lads came out and they smashed them. They put another 4 behind them. Newcastle, they were beat. I don't know. It's very difficult to sit here and go, with Conte's speech during halftime, they would have come out and not won the game, or they would have tried to uphold it. Nobody knows. But obviously scoring that goal was just essential. And we've done that before, haven't we? Where we've gone 1-0 up and, just before halftime, we let in a goal. So, and how it changes games, so I think Newcastle went in with their heads down and we went in with our heads high, and we came back. When we came back out, we just punished them, and we took the game to them. And listen, and I say it all the time, every week, and you've seen it on the WhatsApp groups. The quicker we play, the better we look and the more clinical we are. You take that third goal. Did you see or was it third or second goal? I think, which one was the Sun one? The third goal.
Third goal,
yeah. How we played from the back. Kane got it to Kulusevski. Boom, boom, boom. Son, and we were so quick. Newcastle, they just couldn't handle us. And when we are quick, we got certain players that like to slow the game down. And I'm not going to, You know, Højbjerg, I love him. He stops everything. But when he gets the ball, he just everybody slow. And Loris is so slow. And at least you got Romero who wants to go out. Then you know how many times did we see Romero in Kane's position?
No, he's a nutter, isn't he?
He has this habit of running and like, oops, where am I? I better go back. And I like that because you can see he wants to. Because I go back to the goals win games, don't they? You know, we score more goals than the opposition and we win, and that's the way we need to do. So I just want us to play a lot quicker. Because I think when we play quicker, when we pass quicker, we are outrageously good and we can take on any team. And with people like Bentancur now in the team, you know, I love watching them now. You know, and I think these last 7 games are going to be very interesting. I wouldn't surprise me if we win 6 out of the last 7. It wouldn't surprise me at all the way we're playing.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't me and Jacob either. If you watch Coins.com podcast from 2 weeks ago, I think me and Jacob went for a full. I think we only went for 1 game. We dropped points in.
I think it was Liverpool.
No, I had us to beat. I said we'll beat.
Yeah.
I said we'll beat Liverpool.
You guys have so much confidence. It's the history of the Tottenham, remember? From Chiellini. It's what we do.
This is a positive show, Alan. If you do not jump on the positivity train, you will be left behind.
Well, I'm going to be left behind it. knowing Tottenham too well, I just can't get too excited and stuff like that. So we'll take it game at a time.
Today being on the show with you, Alan, it's like I'm shouting at my 4-year-old daughter. I feel like this is what I'm doing right now. I'm dropping the law down. I'm telling her what's happening, and you're always fighting back. You just always have to fight me.
Well, it's because I know how Spurs are. So I'm expecting a drop off. I'm expecting a bad performance or a game that we should win that we bottle. I'm just expecting something. And if we don't do it, then that probably means we get top 4, which is brilliant. But it's the Spurs way, isn't it? Oh, yeah. I just can't get happy with it.
As much as my predicted results are positive, I go into every game feeling like this is that game where Spurs.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Don't ever go at me. You're saying you're doing exactly the same things.
Thank you, Prime. Well said.
No. Okay, I'll be positive. I'm positive that Matt Doherty is not good enough for Spurs. There we go.
Right, Jacob, on to you before Alan starts a bloody comment riot. We will go into more discussion about Romero later, Jacob. Is that what you want to see from your centre-back when we're on top in the game? He's actually breaking out from defence and thinking, I'm not sitting back here while we've got all this possession. They might as well get in the box and help out. Is that what you want to see from him?
Yeah, of course. It has to be measured. You know what I mean? It's like I'd hate it if we were playing in a North London derby and it was 0-0 with like an hour to go and he's doing all that, because then it'll get to the point where if he does that and then we get caught on a counter attack, you'd be like, well, if Romero was in position, we wouldn't have got caught. But I do like it. It reminds me a bit of what Lucio used to do, because Lucio used to do that in a pairing. He never was even a back three. He'd just get the ball and wander off and do what he wanted. And he was probably capable of realistically playing defensive midfield, Lucio, back in the day. He was one of my favourite defenders. So I can see a lot of Romero in him. And slowly but surely you're seeing that Conte's drilling in his head that all the, shithousery and all that, you got to learn that you can't just do that every minute of the game. Do it properly. And for the last few games, he hasn't really done it, has he? You haven't seen him shouting at anybody, and he's just let his football do the talking. Like when Saint Maximin, like the amount of times where he was just coming out to him, meeting him, taking the ball off him, passing it back to the keeper. He against Newcastle, even though Newcastle weren't the best opposition, that was the game where I think Romero took it up another notch. And I just hope that he can, 1, stay fit, and 2, continue performing like that. Because I can't remember a defender like that playing for Tottenham with that sort of aggression. I can't even think of one, to be fair, because Alderweireld and Vertonghen were very good as a partnership, but they weren't fully aggressive. This guy just, doesn't matter who you are, he's just going to eat you up for dinner.
Yeah, and Alan, speaking of aggressive, obviously there was the incident before half-time with the Bentancur and St. Maximin squaring up and Joe Linton pushing in, which, by the way, has turned out to be a huge win for Newcastle, because that's all I see on Twitter still is about that push. But I had a discussion with Carl about it on Twitter. What did you make of that situation? Is opinion was that it was stupid for him to get involved because if St. Maximin had gone down, it could have been sent off for a headbutt assault. Are you the same?
To be fair, I mean, if you look at it now with VAR, even if that was to happen, I think they'd review it. And to be fair, I mean, the referee at the time gave a yellow card and it weren't looked at any other way. So I think it would have been the whole clear and obvious thing. So I think it might have just been looked at first before making the decision. So in that aspect, I don't think the going down will affect it on decision, and because they'll always check VAR first, I think. So I don't really find that. But yeah, it's silly for Pensacola to get involved in all that. But people that were saying it was a definite red, I'm sorry, it weren't. You know, they put heads together. I've seen in recent weeks, same players do the same, and there's a little flick. That's all it is. People calling for red cards for things like that now and all that, you know, just makes the game so soft. It really does. And if you go and end up punching somebody or forearming someone like Ben Thatcher did to Pedro Mendes all them years ago, proper, you know, full out hitting somebody, then yeah. But stuff like that. So you want a bit of aggression, a bit of like passion in the game. But it's been so weak recently with everything happening that you get a lot of, like, you lose a lot of fight in the team. But yeah, I think, you know, it wasn't exactly handbags, but yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with it at the time. I thought yellow card was the correct decision. We'll go from there. People are just screaming for reds for any incident now. Just makes the game diluted. It makes the game, you know, just, oh, this one should have been something for that and all that. It's just nonsense. You know, when you have a bad tackle, red card, but stuff like that, just yellow card, get on with it, be men, and carry on playing football.
Yeah, Mark, are you the same? Like Cole's put here, you don't think there was a headbutt, but just walk away as you don't need this silly yellow in his position. You're then only one mistimed tackle from costing the team. Is that how you feel about that when it was all happening?
Yeah, I'm with Alan. I think it was like handbags. I just think, you know, two players squaring up to each other. I think sometimes the game's gone too soft. You know, I think, you know, it's a contact sport. Come on. And sometimes there's aggression, you know, at the end of the day. You know, if you're going to do something deliberate to try and injure somebody, yeah, but you know, there's both sides to it. You know, you can do something. You know, look at the Lamella thing last season. You know, where he got somebody sent off and everything. So I think he's got to be careful. And you know, these South Americans, they do tend to have a bit of a streak in them. You know, I think, like you say, that Joe Linton thing. You know, pushing him. I think there was a bit of, who's Joe Linton? Is he Brazilian?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you know, you got that thing, you know, it's like tomorrow I worry with Coutinho and Romero, you know, there's going to be that kind of like nastiness in it. And that's what worries me about tomorrow. Not that we won't play Aston Villa off the park, but, you know, if we get a red card, and that's always going to be the worry. But so, yeah, that's something that they need to learn, because if you're going to lose a game because people get sent off, you know, I don't know if you watched the, and we don't want to talk about it, but if you watch the Hammers game, that guy got sent off, did he? Because it was, he stopped the goal scoring. But did you not see the other two defenders right there? It's, you know, so I think sometimes we make stupid decisions. And where the game was 20 years ago, we've made it so soft. And every little touch now, somebody goes down. It's wrecking the game, you know, and it's not football anymore. It's not how we grew up, or maybe how I grew up to it. So I think we need to take stock as well. We need the games to flow. You know, this is a contact sport. It's like rugby. You know, it's a contact sport. You play it. You know, sometimes when two legs crash into each other, one will get broken. That's what happens. You know, it's and we don't want it to happen. But if it's malicious, I get it. But if you're just playing the game, that's what happens in this sport, doesn't it? So, and sometimes, you know, two people tangle and they get involved. Just take it for the heat of the moment. If he punches him, like Alan says, fair enough, send him off. But like if they're just squaring up to, oh, look, I've got a bigger testicle than you, kind of thing. You know? Really, you know, let's get on with it, you know. You know, and that's where the referee becomes like a headmaster kind of thing, you know, you to your side, and let's just get on with the game. We're here to show, you know, they're making millions of pounds from this, you know. Don't make a spectacle of it, you know.
I couldn't have said that better myself if I tried, Mark. The whole thing.
I've got bigger testicles than you.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Nor was I.
Right, Jacob, how important was that goal 3 minutes into the second half from the world? Hold on, wait. Let me just mute him. From the world's best right back, moving over to left back to prove that he's also the world's best left back. How important and how good is it to actually see these fullbacks? How important is it to see our fullbacks actually in the furthest man forward?
You do realise I can unmute myself.
Yeah, it is important. It's like, when I watch the highlights, you look at the run that Matt Doherty made. The ball from Kane was brilliant, but the run that he made, I was happy with that because that's what you used to see at Wolves. It's like when he was at Wolves at right back. I remember there's one season I think he scored like 8 goals, and I used to scratch my head thinking, I know they're playing wing backs, but how's he getting in them positions? Like it was crazy. But then when you looked at Matt Doherty at Wolves, he would time it to perfection. So he would it'd be a sort of run that how Lampard used to make back in the day. But obviously Lampard was making them central. It's just like you wouldn't see Lampard from anywhere, and all of a sudden the ball's bouncing out the edge of the box, and you just can already know that Frank Lampard is going to be under that with a shot on target. But he's doing it from the outskirts, so it was nice to see him do that. And like without Harry Kane, he could make them runs all day long. But I don't think we've got anybody else in our team that picks that pass. But fair play to Matt Doherty, man, because he's got his head down. I never thought I'd see the geezer smile, but he seems to be smiling quite a lot now. Yeah, and I can't really complain about him. Like, I wouldn't go as far as saying he's the first name in the team sheet, but in a weird way, in terms of fullbacks, he is, because he's the only fullback in the team that I can kind of trust at the minute. Regular had a good game, but it'd take me ages to trust that guy. Sessegnon's better going forward and going back, and like you said with Regular, I think he's gone back to Spain. That's why I think Conte doesn't put him in the team as much. And even if he's not going to Spain, I just think he's quite weak. I don't know. I just think he hasn't got. He's not a very tough guy, is he? He's very soft. So I think Spain, like Lo Celso, probably suit him.
Yeah, I mean that goal. Is that Jacobs? Yes, Alan. That goal, I'm going to call bullshit on Harry Kane's pass. I don't think that was intended for Doherty at all. I think that was a passing to Son, who took a very bad touch that fortunately bounced past Son into what does Prime call him? Matberto Doherty, is it that he calls him? I mean, in the end, though, I know you're not his biggest fan. I'm not his biggest fan. I don't think any Tottenham fan is. We're happy he's playing more now, but are you? Is that somewhere you want to see our fullbacks? Obviously, the formation Conte plays, not where you want to see them. Is that where you expect to see them? There in case something bounces out to them or go straight through Son?
Well, yeah, that's with the system that Conte plays. It enables. We saw it in the Leeds game where you have Sessegnon and Doherty, I think, setting each other up and stuff like that. So the way Conte plays is that you have them up there for the extra attack, to bring width to the pitch as well. Whereas obviously, if you don't have them there, you're more narrow and it's a bit of a slower build-up. So it's good to see them get in that position, because I think earlier in the season when we were trying to, under Conte, we were trying to play like that and it weren't quite happening. Now it seems that it is happening and they're continually getting into positions they're meant to be in. So it's going to be beneficial because, I mean, I agree. I don't think it was meant to be a ball to Kane. I think it was meant to be a ball into a dangerous area. So obviously Son went for it, missed it, and then Doherty had done. But yeah, Alan doesn't want to mention that. Oh, hold on. He's not the best player on the planet. I've criticised Harry Kane more than anyone this season on this panel. So there we go. Don't give me that. Right, anyway, Prime, go away. You're making me lose train of thought. Yeah, so Son missed the ball, but it was good to see Doherty doing what he's been asked to, or both our wing backs have been asked to do in training, is to get into that area. Because if Doherty hasn't done that, then it goes out for a goal kick. So getting in the right position, with the structure of the team, the way Conte wants to play, it's only going to benefit us, because now teams know about us. They know they don't just have to worry about, because normally pre-Conte and the formation he likes, normally you had a ball going and it was somebody whipping it into Harry Kane. If it went past Kane, it went out for a goal kick. Or same with Son and all that. Now they're defenders are having to look behind them for where the wing back is making the late run into it and all that. And that unnerves defenders, it unsettles defences, and that's what benefits us. So for me, it can only be a good thing for the team. And yeah, I like I said, I'm not below praising Doherty with the goal and Royal. You know, I praised them both for the good performances, and Pram just wants to keep going for it. So we can do this all day, Pram, if you want.
One of your first 11 fans have turned against you a little bit here, Alan.
All right.
Ravi has commented that Alan has a Doherty picture in his room but doesn't want to admit it. It's okay, Alan, to rate Doherty. Is this true, Alan? You've got a Matt Doherty picture on your wall?
Ravi, when was you in my bedroom? No.
That's my worry.
No. Not telling me it's for the jokes, but yeah, I have a collage of Doherty, you know, secret shrine to him. It's what I do, yeah.
Of course, Kane isn't the best player on the planet. Ronald Doherty is. I like that name, Prime. Actually, I do like.
Oh. I'll tell you what. If Doherty has stays with us and has an amazing season like Michael Brighton did for Leicester and all that, we won't win the league. But if he has the type of season like where he's got like 10, 15 assists and 5, 6 goals at the end of the season next season, I will shave my head bald at the end of next season if he's consistent throughout the thing. There we go. I will do it.
I'm thinking you want to shave your head bald because you make.
I do not. Trust me. With these ears, no way. I don't want to be bald. But that's why I'm saying it because I don't think it will happen. I think he'll have the odd game here or there.
Before I go to Mark on the next question, Alan, is this why the fullbacks are probably the main priority for the summer window to get these new wing backs in? Who it's hard because not many teams play this formation, but if you want wing backs in who can finish, can put the ball into the box and defend, are they probably the main 2 areas you want to upgrade in summer?
Definitely, especially if we back Conte, if we give him the money and he stays and he continues with this formation, that's the area you need to, because that's where he done it with Chelsea. I don't really watch Italy, but I think that's what he tried to do with, in Italy as well. The same kind of thing where you've got you always need strong runners. You need people that can finish, defensively sound and all that, and get up and down the pitch. So, you see bits of that in the wing backs we've got, but you can't see it around fully. So for me, they're massive problem areas that need to be addressed if you want to be able to progress and play and still cause teams problems playing the same formation next season. So they are ideal for everyone, but I also do think another centre midfield, and we do need a backup striker as well. Yeah,
I mean, obviously Prime's back. Says, no, Alan, can I shave your head bald when that happens and shave your head live on first 11?
It's a deal.
There we go. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. Mark, you spoke about that goal earlier for Son. Obviously, it was about 6 passes from Lloris and then into the goal. I mean, on Coys.com, a week before this result, I was talking about Spurs and predominantly being a counter-attack team, which Patrick argued about and told me no, we've seen so many goals now where we can get the ball from the back and actually move the ball. How do you see it, especially with that goal as well? Is it in certain games we can only do that, where we get the ball from Lloris to Romero, Bentancur, Kulusevski goal, or do you see us more as a bit more of a counter-attack team?
I would say we're more of a counter-attack team because that's how we set up. But I think later on in the game, I think we've become quite fit. When you look at some of the other teams, they're not as fit as us. But when we're quick, when we pass the ball, like when we do 6, 7 passes, there's not many teams that can. And we could have played against Man City, we could have played against Liverpool, and those kind of passes, it would have outdone them as well. I'm not gonna say because it's only Newcastle or because it's only Brighton or because it's only or Everton and that. I still think when we play quick and when we are accurate with our passing, we have the 3 up front that can destroy any team on this planet on their day. And yet Liverpool have those same 3 that can destroy any team on any day. Man City can destroy any, but we've set up in such a way, just going back on Doherty, I'd love to see Doherty over the next 7, 8 games play like Ronaldinho and become Ronald Doherty or whatever. But I still don't believe, even if he becomes Ronald Doherty, I don't think he plays for Spurs next season, or he'll be number 2, if I'm honest. And that's the truth. I think Conte likes him. I think he trusts him. But Conte will get not a better, I don't want to say better, but the word, better right wing back in next year. Because I don't think he will believe he can challenge for the Premier League with the Doherty and with not Romero, Emerson Royal. So, you know, that's my opinion. I think he's good, and I hope he goes. But, you know, the next 8 games, I'd love to see Emerson Royal and the two of them, because I think there was something that that Conte said. He said, when one wing back is going down with the ball, he wants to have the other wing back right at top there. So they need to pass to each other. That's how he wants it. Now, that's amazing. The problem is, have you seen Doherty run back? He's so slow. He's like, he can't be up there and run back. He's not a Romero. You know, the guy's 64. You know, he needs to either be up there or back. But let's get back onto that third goal. Just sublime. You know, and we've done that a few times this season. And, you know, when we're quick like that, and, you know, even Sonny's finish, I thought, if I'm very honest, I thought he was going to smack it with his right foot. He touched it down, and I thought he was going to go, but he went with his weaker foot, didn't he? He went with his left foot. And brilliant, wasn't it? And like I say, and I go again, that could have been against any of the top 6 sides. And that goal would have been a goal. And it was beautiful to watch. Because I don't think when we are quick, and I tend to agree with your colleague from Coys.com, that we are predominantly a counter-attacking side. But we do have it in us to play from the back, play very well, and get goals like that. I really do. But I think we've got the class. Now that we've got Bentancur and we've got Kuleski, I think it just gives, with Romero, I think Dyer's having a great season as well. You know, we can't knock Dyer. I think Davis is having a great season as well, although I don't see him starting next season either.
No, I don't see him. I mean, Alan, did you leave then, or did Prime kick you out of the show? What's going on?
I don't know. I just went off. I think Prime's kicking me out. I don't know.
I mean,
please don't be like that, Prime.
Jacob, about obviously Sonny got his goal again. I personally don't think he had a great game again. I don't think he was awful. I don't think he was bad. But I didn't think he had a typical Sonny game. When he shines, he shines. But does it really matter when we're winning and he's still getting the goals? Obviously, he's second joint top goal scorer in the league now. He's got 5-6 assists. Does it really matter if we're winning?
Yeah, I think obviously you want to see your players perform better. You know, Son can do better, but, you know, he's still getting the goals. And like I alluded to a couple of weeks ago, you want to see the performances, but I think it's just about getting the results over. And you look at Liverpool, they could effectively win the league, but for the last 6 games, Liverpool haven't actually played like they're capable of. They've just been winning games 1 and 2-0 without getting out of second gear. You know, they didn't even get out of second gear to beat Chelsea to win the Carabao Cup. So I think as much as you want your team to play week in, week out, just the way we did against Newcastle, sometimes you've got to go into games and just get the job done like we did against Brighton. You know, Brighton weren't great. Harry Kane makes that 2-0 and you just see the game out, you know. But, yeah, I'm not too fussed. As long as Son's scoring goals, that's what I want him to do. And I think with him, his confidence would go down the cars.
Put yourself on mute. You're on mute, Jacob.
Yeah, it's Ryan. He put me on mute. What are you doing? You know
That's just nasty, isn't it?
Sorry.
You know what I mean? I was there talking, and then I was just looking at Alan. I'm like, why you look confused? Like, am I speaking Chinese or something? I forgot what I was saying. That. Yeah, anyway. I'm not really fussed with Son, to be fair. As long as he's scoring goals, that matters. And I think if the more he scores goals, his confidence will increase. You know, like, for instance, when he's played against West Ham, I think that gave him a boost. I think if we didn't have the international break, he would have gone on and started performing better. I just think he's come back from the international break, probably tired. And even though he scored, I just think, I'm hoping anyway, that he goes strength to strength and starts scoring goals and playing better.
I do apologise, Jacob, for muting you. That was accidental. My finger was too close to the trigger there. If it was Alan, I wouldn't apologise, but I do apologise for that, Jacob.
That's all
I just think as well, Ryan, I just think it's just nice to see other people scoring as well, because, you know, for the last few seasons, we've always had to rely on Kane and Sonny and all that.
Mhm.
And when they do have a bad game, it's lovely to see Doherty. It's lovely to see Royal. It's lovely to see Ben Davis. You know, I want Bentancur to score, Kuleski or whatever his name is, Kulu. It's just so nice to score, you know, because we're not the Kane show. I hate this tag that we're the Kane team, you know, because we're not the Kane team. You know, we're Tottenham, and we've got 11 players on that pitch there. And, you know, as good as Kane is, and he's fantastic and he's brilliant, without those other players, we don't win. So, you know, it's just nice to see. I think own goals are still the top, the number 3rd highest. And by the end of the season, I want that to drop down to like 5 or 6. But it's just so nice to see other people scoring goals as well.
It's important that is as well, because like at Man City, look at Man City for instance. If they go and win the league, who's their top goal scorer right now? I think their top goal scorer is either Mahrez or Foden, and they're only on about sort of 8 goals. But you know, if you look at someone like John Stones has probably scored more goals than Lo Celso scored for Tottenham ever. Do you know what I mean? In this season, and John Stones isn't even playing. You've got Laporte, Diaz would chip in. You've got Cancelo. Literally, all their players have probably scored 3 goals each or more. So it is important, because if you look at Man City, if all those players were chipping in with the 3 goals, the 5 goals, like I just alluded to, but they did get Harry Kane, they probably would have already won the league.
Yeah,
because everybody chipped in as well as a striker.
It breeds confidence as well. If you've just got a team, that only rely on one person to score and they're not scoring, then it seems like where we're going to get this from. If you've got a team that's got like 6 or 7 different goal scorers in there and know they can score, and the system allows you to be able to have those, especially from wing backs as well as midfield and all that, then the confidence in that team, anyone knows that they don't have to rely on one person, you know, and they can turn to anyone to score. And that's what breeds confidence. That's what I believe makes us not so. People say that what makes, obviously, Man City and Liverpool, they can get goals from anywhere on the pitch. So that's what makes them title-winning teams. Man United have struggled to do that this season. Chelsea have struggled to do that this season. And same with Arsenal and us. We've only had Harry Kane and Son, but now it's good to see us having, in case people try and clip that or say I was trying to say anything like that. No, but that's the reason why Man City and Liverpool are where they are, because they can get goals from anywhere across that pitch.
And I think the 2 areas we need to work on, we can score anywhere in the pitch, but the 2 areas we need to is scoring from a corner and scoring from a free kick. You know, set pieces, we're not very good at. And we haven't been very good for a long time without Eriksen, you know, and we've got to get better. And that's where the Liverpools, that's where the Chelseas, that's where the Man Cities, you know, the amount of times Diaz, Stones, you just alluded to it, Jacob, you know, these defenders, they're heading the ball in. Rudiger, you know, all these guys, Van Dijk, you know, we don't do that, and we need to start to do more, because that's where you take the reliance off the Kanes and the Sons, who can play and when you get the ball in the box and score. So that's what I look for, and I think that's what Conte is going to want next season.
Do you know what I want? I want, in the next Spurs game, like when we get a free kick in around 25, 30 yards, Harry Kane goes up to pick the ball for a thing, and I hope one of the Spurs players just walks over, slaps him and goes, "No, you're not touching that free kick," because he is awful at free kicks. One deflected free kick against Aston Villa in 5, 6, 7 seasons is not good enough. He needs to just stay off of free kicks. We need a better person who can take free kicks, but yeah, it's not Harry Kane today.
Yeah, when he takes a free kick, like, you know, normally, like when we used to have Eriksen take a free kick, or it might be Gareth Bale or something, you'd be sitting at the edge of your seat thinking, "Come on, man."
Yeah.
You know, at least get it on target. Harry Kane steps up. But honestly, if I need a toilet, I'll just go toilet.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, go and have a shot, because he just, I don't understand. I don't understand why someone like Son. I think Son, with the way he delivers free kicks and corners, why is he not saying, like, let me take a free kick? His shooting ability is just as good as Harry Kane, and I could guarantee you he could take free kicks, but I just think he just wimps out of it and lets Harry Kane keep doing it. But they must all be talking behind his back, going, "Yeah, just let him crack on with it." But we need to win games. It's like, Dyer, why are you 2 doing it? You might as well let Matt Doherty have a go, because he'll just do the same thing.
Speaking of that, Jacob, I mean, Prime is on point straight away. Prime does not miss a trick when it comes to Doherty.
I was kind of fishing for him, and he came in.
He came in immediately. He came in before you even finished what you were talking about. But Alan, before we go to the Villa game, I mean, how nice is it to see, not only Bentancur settling like we spoke about, like Mark spoke about, but Kulusevski is on 5 assists already for the season. I mean, could you have imagined two players who were apparently touted by Italian journalists as Juventus B team players and not good enough for the Premier League? I mean, they've slotted him perfectly so far, haven't they?
Exactly. I mean, for me, the better player out of the two that's performed better, like consistently, has been Kulusevski. I knew bits about them, and I knew that they had, done okay in Italy for bits, and then obviously they had, as people say, deadwood. If Juventus have more deadwood like that, I'll take more of that deadwood. Thank you very much. I mean, with Kulusevski, he didn't do well in Italy, but I've always said this: not every player is built for the right team for the right league. Let's take Fernando Torres as an example. For Liverpool, their system and everything like great. For Chelsea, their system, absolutely. He was nowhere near the same player. There's players that who have come across to us. Lamella, for me, Lo Celso, even Brian Hill, quality player Brian Hill. Like, he's got loads of ability, but he's not built for the Premier League because it's too fast, too powerful for him. And there's no disrespect to him, but maybe later on in his career, he might get to that point where he can live with the pace of the Premier League. And that's, for me, Kulusevski is built for the Premier League. He's powerful enough. His control was a bit suspect to begin with, but I think he's calmed down now and he understands and reads the game very quickly. And he is a workhorse. And Bentancur, I think he's where I said that one of my criticisms for him was that he expects so much time on the ball by his box. In that, you probably got that in Italy, but people are on you, and it seems like he's got that out of his game quite quickly. So maybe Conte saw that and was like, okay, this needs to be improved, but he doesn't seem to dawdle on the ball as much as he used to. He gets it in turns and goes quick. I know he's got the trick in him, he's got the confidence as well. Keep doing that, because if you've got confidence in yourself in that position, all that, like I said, confidence breeds confidence within the team. So the more people that are, because we've had a team for a couple of seasons, like post Poch, that have been scared on the ball, not being wanting to do things and all that, and get harried and like weak-minded and lose the ball in really bad positions. It looks like we're starting to get away from that, which is good. We've got a good young core in the fact that you've got Romero, Bentancur, Kulusevski, and Skip. I think the highest age is 23. So we've got a good young core there. You need to now build around in the next transfer window 2 or 3. And if you give Conte the funds and you keep him happy and we challenge and we start winning trophies, why can't we have Conte there for 3 or 4 seasons? If you don't back Conte, then that's where he leaves in about 1.5 seasons, because he's like, nah, I'm putting up with this. And he goes, you keep him happy, I think he'll get performances from that team and win you trophies. You just have to wait and see. But yeah, Kulusevski for me has been, by far and away, especially when everyone, like, fans now saying, oh yeah, they were good players. No, every fan base criticised us, took the pee out of us, basically. Oh, you signed that and all that. Absolutely shocking, signings, and it turns out that they're actually very decent players.
Yes, very lucky for us. I mean, Alan just talked about backing Conte and whatnot. I mean, I think Conte said it around just after January that he said the deal with Atlanta's done now. Romero is our player. It will just become known in the summer. Would you do the same with Kulusevski now? Would you give him Kulusevski as a permanent player? Give Juventus the money they want and say, look, we'll take him off your hands. He'll stay with us now. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, what's he, 22 years old, and he's already showing this kind of promise. Oh, wow, yeah, I'd snap their hands off.
He's 21.
Yeah, he's just turned 22, I think.
Oh, okay.
Was it 25 million we're paying for him? Where can you get somebody like that for 25 million? Come on. And I know apparently they rejects from Juventus, but Bentancur played 200 games for Juventus. It's only this last season that he's kind of fell out of favor with, who's it? Allegri.
Yeah.
How many people have fallen? Apparently Allegri will leave at the end of the season, because he's falling out with the owner. The owner doesn't like what he's doing, so every manager has a certain player they like or they don't like. Do you know what I mean? Poch loves Dele Alli. Mourinho didn't. Conte didn't favor him. Now look, he's gone to Everton, can't even get in the side.
Yeah.
So every what's the name has there, and Conte. I don't know when did Conte leave Juventus?
Oh, quite a while ago now, wasn't it?
So I don't think either two of them played for Conte, did they?
No.
But he played 200 games for Juventus, so that or 180. So that's 3 seasons he was inside. You know, he's played Champions League football. He's won the Serie A or whatever it's called. You know, so the guy's got experience. He plays for Uruguay, for God's sake. You know, so he's only 24. I saw that stat. And then you got Swedish guy Kulu. He's just turned 22. Of course, we'll snap both their hands off. You know, because these guys have. Everybody says you come to the Premier League. It's quick. It's fast. It's more physical than any other league and everything. But these 2 guys have taken to like a duck to water. You know, you look at Bentancur around the big box, our big box. How he comes out, he'll dribble past you. I'm waiting for it to go horribly wrong. Every time I see him do it, I'm going, oh my God, because you know he's one of my favorite players now. And you know, you see me on WhatsApp. Always about Bentancur, and out of his performances, you know, he's had one shocker. Watch tomorrow night him have a fucking shocker, you know. But listen, I just think both of them they've come in, and you know, everybody. I'm seeing Twitter now at the moment about Lo Celso on during the week and Ndombele during the week, and everybody's going, oh, look how great these guys. You know, no. One performance in 2 or 3 years, and what, we want them back over these 2 players we've brought in? No. Come on. You know, we need to get realistic. This is the team we want to start building. And you can see now they're starting to gel together. You know, you don't win 5-1, 4-0, 5-0, and all this by luck. You know, you go out and you score goals. It's skill, you know, and they seem to be enjoying playing with each other.
Well, we've got Prime, obviously. I will answer your question soon, Ravi. I will put it to Alan very soon. But Prime has come out and says, then you've got Matt Doherty in the prime of his career. I expect nothing less than a title win for Spurs next season. I don't think we're
listen, I if that comes true, I'll be the first one to say to Prime, well done. But that's if he's part of a Tottenham winning, if we win the Premier League next year and Matt Doherty, I'm all for it. I've got no problems with that. I'm sure Alan wouldn't.
If that comes
I'm
true,
sure Alan wouldn't have any problems with Doherty playing on the left or the right. And if we win the league, I think Alan will be the first one to say, listen, he's part of a winning title team.
If that comes true, I will give you a front row seat to that Alan shaving on first 11.
Hold on. Wait. Let's not forget what I said.
Here's the caveat.
Let's not forget what I said. I said Matt Doherty have a brilliant season, at least 10 to 15 assists and about 6 to 8 goals. I think I said, you know, like what especially if he's getting in that position now and everyone's back to lyrical, that's what he can do. If he has that type of season, if he gets 1 assist and 1 goal, no, it ain't happening.
We'll make Alan look like Daniel Levy.
Yeah. You can make me look like Daniel Levy.
This was not an invitation for an Alan tantrum. This was not the invitation.
No, it's making you aware of what I actually said. So go back and review the tape. 1 goal and 1 assist isn't doing it for me.
That's fair enough. I mean, Jacob, before I go to Alan and we start on with the Aston Villa predictions and what you think the game, I mean, I know obviously you've said it a million times on the show, same as Alan, same as Mark, that the board need to now start really putting their hands in their pockets. But like when you figure, obviously, we're not only in a rebuild on the Conte, but Juventus are in a rebuild. They're struggling in Serie A again. Barcelona are looking. Man United, who could get Ten Hag next season, are rebuilding. Arsenal are starting to come good again. God knows what's going to happen with Chelsea next season. There's so many teams on the rebuild. Is this where the board need to actually really, really dig their hands into them pockets, get rid of the cobwebs, get rid of the dust, pick out the spare money they've had for this entire time, and go early as well, because we've got 2 players with Bentancur and Kulusevski. I mean, you imagine Conte spoke to Paratici about those 2 players.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any point in us leaving it as late as we usually do? If we haven't got 2-3 players within the first 6 weeks, is that pointless for a manager like Conte?
Yeah, it is. I think it's pointless for anybody, because it's like, I don't see the point of, you know, not signing off your deals and not taking every single player that you want for the next season onto your pre-season tours wherever you go. You know, Fergie was the master at it. He would go and get, you know, his Rio Ferdinand, he'd go and get his Rooney, and then he just, what's happened here? If Spurs win the Premier League next season, I will use my Irish contest to get my Doherty to shake hands.
For God's sake, Prime. That wasn't what was said, Prime. Watch it back and you'll see the caveat for it, for God's sake.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, that Doherty showed me that would be
I
brilliant.
thought I was what the question was now. What was the question? I can't even remember.
Oh, it's about the board and backing Conte.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, like Fergie and Man United used to do it. They'd just go and get their players, go to China, Japan, the Far East, wherever they did, and they never used to come back and start scrapping around for players. But then everybody was settled. If there's any players that are unsettled, there's no better way to settle by going away with the group of men that you're gonna, pretty much spend most of your next year or two with. Let's say if you're a new signing, and obviously needs to do it early, but I can already see what's going to happen. I've been saying it all season that Daniel Levy's not the sort of person that's going to give Tottenham 200 million to spend, on players and stuff, and then say, you get rid of your Winkses or your Emerson Royals and you can put that on top. What it is that Daniel Levy, if we're going to be realistic, he'd probably say, right, I'm happy to spend 130 million, and then you've got to get rid of players, but then he'll overprice the players, and out of that 130 million, we'll end up spending. He'll say, well, 80 million that's got to go on Kozalewski and Romero. So then all of a sudden it's like we got them two, and then Spurs fans are like, yep, great. And then we've got like 50 million. We'll pretend to go and sign Diabala, but then let him go to somewhere else. We'll pretend to do someone else. And then all of a sudden we'll be like, right, so we'll just give Lo Celso another chance because he smashed it at Villarreal. This is what will happen. For me, it's like Bentancur and Kozalewski, realistically, in my mind, if you want Tottenham to do well, should come out of last year's budget and just say that last year we were going to spend that money, but we wanted to see how they get on. And then that 150 million that I'm speaking about should just be fresh players. And then if we get rid of your Winkses and all these guys, all of a sudden Conte's like, right, we've got 230 million, let's go. But that's what big clubs do. That's where when Liverpool do a rebuild, when Man City, they don't necessarily have a rebuild, but Man City built a team, built a dynasty to what they are now because they just went and got the players early and got who they want to fit Guardiola's mould. And fair enough, they've got an embarrassment of riches, but they're still, the mindset's still the same with Liverpool. We were pissing around with Diaz. Liverpool like, all right, we're just going to get him now. And within a couple of days, he was secure, but we've spent a week like pissing around with this guy, deciding whether we want to get him or not. And realistically, we weren't going to get him anyway. Everybody knew it was common knowledge. This guy was going to Liverpool at the end of the season. Why would you be going to Liverpool at the end of the season and then think to yourself, actually, I'll go to Tottenham, when Daniel Levy probably offered Porto less money, offered the player less money, and didn't let the player speak to Conte. So it was just pointless even trying to do it. So I think he just needs to get whatever money he's got, literally give it to Paratici and Conte. And just, if you're going to the Bahamas, just piss off and stay there while we get our job done.
Yes. Yeah. Stay in the way.
Just stay there, get lost in the jungle somewhere, man, while we sort it out. Well, Conte and things sorts out because you just do my head.
That is perfect for Spurs. But Alan, obviously 58 minutes in now. We'll go to the Villa game quickly. What's your thoughts on the game? What different? Do you see any changes to the lineup, and what's your prediction for the game?
So for me, this is going to be a lot harder game than what the Newcastle game was. Away from home against Villa, I know they haven't been doing well recently. They've had bad performances and not been at their best, but it's typical when things are going, when we're doing well, when we go to a team that's struggling. Dr. Tottenham will see you now. That's what we're famous for. I think the team will stay pretty much the same. If Reguilon or whoever's back, I honestly do believe they'll go at left back and Dockett will switch back to the right. I said,
they are both back. Alan Reguilon and Sessegnon are both available for tomorrow.
One of them will be in, and because I'm sorry, against a better team like Aston Villa are, they've got better players. I think that they'll, Royal will be found wanting. So I think just no risk. Doherty, put him to the right back and all that. He's less of a problem in that position than Royal. And then have Reggie or Sessegnon back on the left-hand side. And then I think it's just pretty much trying to build on the confidence that we've got in the team at the moment with the performances we've put in recently. Because although it's been against teams that we are supposed to beat, earlier in the season we weren't beating them teams. Back-to-back at home against Wolves and Southampton shows we weren't beating them teams. So to now be beating them teams and beating them well, proves the confidence is up. Everyone's buying into Conte's way, playing with freedom. Able to express themselves. The system's now working, so it's a bonus for us. So we just need to keep that going. We can't now. We've got ourselves into a position to throw away straight away. We now have to. If Arsenal drop points before we play, that should give them extra momentum. But even if Arsenal do get a win, then it's on them to go. We can do this, go. None of this weak-minded stuff. We need, hopefully with Conte, who's a proven winner and stuff like that, he can get them out of that habit of as soon as something goes up against them or there's pressure put on them, they buckle. Hopefully Conte can change that. I predict a very close game. And like I said, although I was proved wrong with the Newcastle game, I said it's not that type of game where you build up a goal difference. I said it's going to be a tough game and we'll beat them by the goal. I was proven wrong on that, and that's good. But I will say the same again. This is a game where I'll take by 1 goal margin. So I believe it'll be a 2-1. I'd happily take a 2-1, a really bad game, two goals, maybe concede late, but hang out for the win and win by the odd goal to keep this momentum going.
First goal scorer?
Why not Romero again?
I knew you was going to go Romero.
Oh, just keep banging on that Romero door. He's got to get one sometimes. So yeah, Romero, that's just to keep going.
And Mark, what about you? Do you see any changes? Do you see maybe us coming up against the Villa team already on the beach, nothing to play for this season now, no cup competitions, no European football, steady, no relegation battle, no European football. Do you see it as that simple, or do you think it's going to be, I said it on coys.com. The way I look at it is I'm going to see it as Steven Gerrard looking at Conte thinking this is a manager I want to be. If I want to do anything in football, get my name out there, I want to outdo Antonio Conte on a touchline. Do you see it as that type of game?
It's hard. Villa, the only thing they've got to play for now is pride, I think. And they're in front of their home fans. I think they've lost the last 3 at home. So I think they're playing for pride. Do I see any changes to the team? I think he'll play the same team he's played against Newcastle. If he does decide to change something, I think it'll be Reguilon with Doherty maybe going on the right side and Emerson Royal coming off. I don't think he'll change it. I think he'll play Matt Doherty because, the last 2 games he's actually played pretty well. So why change a winning formula? I'm not as cagey as Alan. I think if we play to our potential and, Conte's had a week with him now, and you know what Conte always says, give him 5 days with the team to get his tactics and his things. Spurs always play so much better, and he's had the 5 days. We played on Sunday, we've had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I think, I think we'll smash them. I think they're low of confidence. I know they've got a few players coming back. I think they've got Danny Ings coming back. I see he's back. Yeah, Coutinho's there, but remember, on his day, Coutinho can change a game. But the last few games he hasn't been brilliant. McGinn, he can have a good game. I think one of the best players that they've got is if he has a top game, that's when we will struggle. He's like Martinez in goal. I think when he plays well, I think we could struggle. But I think we've got the players to tear them apart. So for me, I'll go for a much bigger win. I'm tossed up between 3-1 and 4-1. So I think those goals are just going to keep coming. Because I want to see them play like they played that second half against Newcastle. They mustn't forget it. And home or away, just play like you feel like you're at home. Just play. Depends on the weather. I don't know what's the weather up like by you guys tomorrow, Ryan. It's sunny down here south, so I don't know what it's like up there. So it's 5:30. The sun's still shining. It's not dark. So no, I'm going to go. I'm going to push the boat out. I'm going to go a 4-1. And I think it's not I don't want to say comfortable. I think, the first half will be cagey again. However, I think Villa are going to come out to try and prove something. And if they bring it to us and they get it wrong, we'll tear them apart. Because like you say, and that's where our counter-attacking intuitive will come. But if they don't and we start passing, yeah. And I think if Matt Doherty gets the ball, we run the show, So no, I'm going for a 4-1. I'm going to go Do you know what? He has to score for me. He hasn't scored yet, has he? Bentancur. I want Bentancur to score the first goal. I really do. He's my player at the moment, and I want him to turn up and just shine.
That's fair enough, Mark. Before I go to Jacob, obviously, Kirst has gone for a 2-1 Tottenham win. She hasn't given me a goal scorer yet. I've gone 3-1 Tottenham Kane. Jacob, what is your result for this game? How do you think the game's going to shape up? How do you think we'll line up, and what's your predicted score?
I think it'll be similar to the Brighton game, so it won't be as scintillating as it was against Newcastle. But I think we'll get the win. I'm going to go 2-0, and I've gone for the same goal scorer as Mark Bentancur.
Good for you, pal.
I just have a feeling, man. He's been getting better. I just think it's just only a matter of time before he scores. So I think I've gone Bentancur as well.
Have that feeling about Romero, guys. He's been playing better. Come on,
He's got his goal though, isn't he? He's got a goal.
No, he hasn't. It
was
an own goal. It was an own goal.
No, that was Romero.
Oh, he got
I thought it was
it.
given as
Yeah,
an own
he
goal.
got it. Yeah. No, he got it.
I thought it was given as an own goal. Oh, fair enough.
So that must change your mind now, isn't it?
Would you like to
Hold
change
on.
that? Would you like to go?
The mind
Emerson?
goggles.
Listen,
Nah,
why don't you take this as advice?
Yeah, you might as well go Matt Doherty, Alan.
No,
Do it,
I'm not doing Matt
Prime, Alan. Do it for Prime.
No. I'll tell you who I'm going to choose. I'll tell you who I'm going to choose to score the goal instead of Romero. I'm going to go Eric Dyer.
Go for Big Eric at the back, are you?
It's not a bad shot, that.
Towering header from a corner.
Oh, come on, Alan. Now, I'm going to go to the toilet after this. Jesus. Don't get me. We can't be scoring from corners now.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Gentlemen, I love it. Alan, you seem like you've got something else you want to say.
No, I think you said a little while ago there was a question from Ravi that you never.
Oh, of course, yes. Alan, see what I mean? Look, Alan with his fans, that's why he's the main man. He never forgets his fans. Alan, I'll ask all of you this, but
Never forgets his fans.
Can Spurs be more consistent? Is this a time we've got to show it now, Alan, this consistency?
It has to. Business end of the season, you have to show consistency. I mean, yeah, I know we've, I think it's like 5 or 6 now, but we need to make that 9 of 10, 10 of 11 towards the end of the season. I mean, we're all expecting that Liverpool game to be tough and probably end up losing that. So if you can win 8 out of 10 of your last games or 9 out of 11, you give yourself every chance to get in top 4 or fighting for whatever you're fighting for. That's what we have to do. But, I mean, the confidence that Mark's coming with, I don't understand, because obviously in although you've seen success, haven't you? Back in the day, you've seen success. We've seen very limited, so that's why I just always see Tottenham as always so close, but yet so far, and always having that one performance that will undo us. So I can't be as confident as Mark, but yeah, it has to be consistent. Can we be consistent? Remains to be seen. It looks positive on the pitch, but I don't know. It's just years of being a Spurs fan where you just can't nail your flags to the mast on anything, really. So, yeah.
No, that's true. I mean, Prime does agree with the goal scorer, though, that you've chosen, Alan. He just predicts it's from a Matt Doherty corner that he gets the goal.
My God, is there anything he ain't getting Matt Doherty in on? Bloody hell.
Mark, is that the same for you? Consistency now, like Alan's just said, business end of the season. Like I say, Conte's got 1 game a week. Do you see more consistency in this side now for top 4?
Absolutely. I think, now's the time where he can actually work with the players individually, work with them together as a team. And listen, we've won 5 of the last 6, so that's more consistent than a lot of the other teams. Yeah, if you go further back, then it's inconsistent. But 5 out of 6, that's quite consistent. We're more consistent than Chelsea at the moment. They've lost their last 2 games, haven't they? So, that's what consistency is. And Alan's right. We have to become more consistent. It is. And I think the next 8 games, if we win 7 of those 8, I think we finish 4th, don't we?
As long as
in my opinion, if we win 7 of the next 8, I think we win the league. Not win the league. We come we come 4th. We come 4th, and you never know. We might come 3rd if Chelsea kind of slip up. Because who would have predicted that 4-1 against Brentford? So, yeah, it's like anything in life. The more consistent you are, the better you are. There was the famous Gary Player saying, I don't know, and I want to get it right because I might get this wrong. somebody once said to him while he was walking down the fairway, he said to him, "God, Gary, you are so lucky." Now you all know who Gary Player is, don't you? He's one of the top 3 old golfers, best history, famous. Him, Jack Nicklaus, and Arnold Palmer. Okay, he's still alive. He's 80 something, and he'll put all 4 of us to shame at 80 about doing. He does 1,000 push-ups a day and all that kind of thing. But look him up. But somebody was walking him down. He said, "God, Gary, you are so lucky." And you know what he said? He said, You're absolutely right. The more I practice, the luckier I get. And that's such a true saying. The more you practice, the luckier he gets. It's not luck, because the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. Absolutely. So I think you can see it now. Conte's, the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's had more time with the players. He's starting to get his methodology over, his ideas over. And Harry Kane was always there. I think Son's been always there. But it's the players that have been kind of inconsistent. You would have a good game now and then have a bad game, have a good game. These are the guys. Harry Kane for the last 6, 7, 8 games, he's been there or thereabouts. It's the other ones he's got to get more consistent. And as a team, we've got to get more consistent. And I think we have over the last 5 or 6 games. And that's why we are now in 4th, aren't we? And we are chasing that 4th spot now. If we had the consistency, like Alan said, from 5, 6 weeks ago, when we played Burnley and we played Southampton, we were going to finish 10th, weren't we?
Yeah.
So I think, consistency, it's key. I think Ravi's right. Can we be? Of course we can. We've shown it in the last 6 games.
Yeah. And Jacob, like Marsh has spoken about the concept. If we become a consistent side, like we always all want us to be for this top 4, can we even get close to Chelsea in 3rd, who are got a lot going on around the club at the minute and really in bad form? Do you just see Arsenal and maybe Man United as challengers, or do you look further ahead to Chelsea now?
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as that, because I remember there's one time when we were under Conte and we were talking about Chelsea, and then from then we had a dip. I think we lost to Wolverhampton and then Southampton when we literally had Chelsea at our grass. I think we just got to concentrate on winning games. Do it like what most managers do. If you just win, if you concentrate on winning every game and you win more often than not, especially in the running that we've got, the table will speak for itself. It's one of those ones we could win all our games, but if we win all our games, then it's confirmed, isn't it? Because that means Arsenal don't, because we've beaten them. So I just think you got to concentrate on it, win your game. And as much as they say they don't concentrate on other fixtures, I'm sure that all the boys will be concentrating their efforts on Arsenal at home to Brighton. But again, whether Arsenal win that or not, it doesn't really dictate what we need to do. We've got to win it regardless of what Arsenal, Man United, West Ham or Chelsea do. We've got to go and win them. So I just think we just need to focus on that. I'm sure that's what Conte does, and that's why our games improve. And like the boys have said, if we're consistent, no matter what you do in life, if you're consistent, you'll always win, won't you? So I think we just got to smash it. Literally beat Villa. I think Villa's one of the ones I looked at along with Brentford and Liverpool that were tricky. And you might say you're going to draw, or if it's a really bad day, you're losing. But I think if we can beat Villa, then that would just set a marker that if we can go to Villa away and win, there's not exactly a massive wealth of teams away that you worry about more than Villa, because of the players they got. So I think if we win tomorrow, we're on to getting Champions League football.
Yes, Champions League football. Wouldn't we like to come on here on a Friday night every week next season and talk about the Wednesday or Tuesday Champions League game? It would be perfect.
Ryan, the question I ask is, when last have we lost at Villa?
I can't remember. It's been a long time, man.
It is, yeah. It's 8 seasons ago. So why are we worried to go to Villa?
Do you want me to
you just jinxed it.
Think about how long we didn't beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. There was a day where we beat them in the end, so you never know what day it's going to be.
Well, yeah, but the way we're playing, the form we're in, says we should beat them, and we need to go in with that form. That's what title winning, that's what Champions League teams go, and they do. So, you know, we shouldn't go we shouldn't go in and be negative about it. You know, don't go gung ho, but don't go in negative. You know, we've got a good record there. We play well there. Now with Conte setting us up, we should go there to win and win big. It's the same as, you know, when we play Brentford, when we go play them, everybody's got, oh, it's so nice to see Eriksen. It's wonderful. But I want us to smash them 10-0. I don't want Eriksen to score against us.
I fear that game that Romero might take care of Eriksen himself in the first 5 minutes of that game.
Yeah, I just, you know, I think we, you know, if we win the next 8 games, we finish 4th.
Yeah.
Definitely. In fact, we'll finish 3rd if we win the next 8 games. But we'll definitely finish 4th. So it's in our hands. We win every game going forward, we come 4th. And that's mathematically, it's impossible not to.
No, that is very true, gentlemen. I thank you very much for an hour and 15 minutes worth of time tonight. You can find me at RyanMadden1 on Twitter every Monday, beside this coming Monday, because I'm away.
So not every Monday.
Every Monday, but this Monday coming up.
That's not every Monday. Not every Monday. Yeah, tell him, Alan. Come on, have a go at him. Alan, have a go at him.
You do.
Yo, Jacob, you all right, bro?
Hello, mate.
You can't handle the truth.
Can we start our own pod, Alan?
Yeah, let's do it.
You can find me on coys.com most Mondays.
There you go.
Not this Monday.
Not this Monday coming up. No, I will not be there. I am away.
Where are you going, where are you going, Ryan?
I'm going to Cornwall, Mark.
Oh, wow. You're staying in one of my parks?
Not with your prices. I'm not, no.
I know. We're very expensive. Sorry, pal.
That's all right. You know me. I don't pay my electricity bill. I don't get good Wi-Fi. No, I don't pay your prices.
Surely it should be mates rates, shouldn't it?
Absolutely. No? Let me know. I've got lodges with hot tubs, pal. Don't mess with me.
Don't tell us, Mark, because we keep planning this meetup between all us. Like, we'll just turn up to your park one day. So,
absolutely. Let's discuss this offline, because everybody will be turning up soon.
Yes, it will. But Alan, do you want to let everyone know where they can find you?
Yep. So,
drum roll, please.
Oh my God, what an absolute twat you are. So you can find me on here every Friday night. First XI show, Grounded Spurs. That's my Twitter handle there. Alan R. Clark 3. Just that. Not every YouTube show is part of my Twitter handle. You can find me on the terrace after every Spurs game, either praising or slandering all Spurs players. You can find me every Friday and Saturday night on eGal show EGTV Vibes from the 6. We do predictions, and then we also do the review of the week. ComeOnYouSpurs.com every once a month, or whenever the rota falls to me, then I'll be on there as well. And I suppose I'll be invited on other shows and all that. And yes, I will haul myself out, as you so rightly say there, Ryan.
You've got, obviously, I love prying for stuff like this. Obviously, you can find Alan on the terrace doing Doberto Carlos prop. Yes, he's also put mine on there. And obviously, since I mentioned Cornwall, one of Matt Doty's channels.
For God's sake. Is there anything you can't link back to him? Seriously.
Mark, would you let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah. Well, not every day, but most days you can find me on BT Sports. But come and check me out here. I think it's better on here. We have a lot more fun on here. I have to be a lot more serious over there. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more relaxed over here, Mark.
Absolutely.
But, Jacob, over to you. Would you like to let everyone know where they can get at you?
I'm teaching him well. I'm teaching Jacob well.
Yeah, I know. I've sort of got a list now. Yeah, so obviously the first foremost I do on this show every Friday. On Mondays, I'm on coys.com. I've just been told I'll go on that one regularly now. And I do my own stuff. So I do, weekly predictions. I do a segment every Tuesday or Wednesday, do with Tottenham. And I've got a couple of other people that have invited me to shows. I did one just recently. So if you go on my Twitter handle, you'll be able to see that show. That should go on YouTube later. And yeah, I'm just getting to the point now where I just want to just keep going and talking everything to do with football, but mainly Tottenham. So yeah, look up my Twitter handle, I'm on Instagram as well. Just give us a follow and some feedback.
Basically, the moral of this story, everybody who's listened or wants to listen, is Mark is the only loyal soldier I've got in this podcast. Alan and Jacob were both, what was it, 2-3 minutes late today, Mark?
They were, pal. Yeah, they were. Yeah, I was, bright and early. You know me.
Yeah.
You know.
It's what it is. I expect it from Alan, but Jacob's upset me a little bit. But
I'm very disappointed in Jacob this week.
Come on, man. I got to do my thing, man.
But to be fair to Jacob, he did message us and say 2 minutes.
He did. Alan just messages. Alan just says, "Fuck off." That's all Alan says.
I didn't message at all.
Jacob had a lot of respect for us and just said, "Hey guys, listen, I'm running a little bit late. I'm on the toilet having a big one. 2 minutes only."
Oh, gentlemen, I love it. Thank you very much again. Remember, there's no show next week.
Oh,
there is no show. Sorry, Mark. I do apologise, but there is no show next week.
Why, where are you?
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough. Where are you going?
I'm away in Cornwall, Mark. I'm going to see.
Can you not do it live from
friend?
Can you not do it live from Cornwall?
No, not really. But don't worry about that because we're back on the 22nd, just without Alan, who is.
Do you know what?
That show.
If we lose tomorrow, you've jinxed it because there's no show next week.
Hey, no! If we lose tomorrow, that's you and Jacob.
No, don't blame me. That's you.
Right,
that's you.
End to the show. We're finished now. Alan, thank you again very much for tonight. Mark, as always, it's great to have you back. And Jacob, who has just walked off, got to sign autographs outside. We will be back next Friday. No, we won't be next. We won't be back next Friday. We'll be back the 22nd. Oh God! Wait. Last comment, guys. So no show next week. So when Matt Doherty bags a hat trick, no one is going to do a show and talk about how it seems agenda driven. Not going to lie. If Matt Doherty scores a hat trick, Prime, I will find Wi-Fi where I am. I will sign these three gentlemen in, and I will let them do the show without me present. If Matt Doherty scores a hat trick, if he doesn't,
wait, hold on. If Matt Doherty scores a hat trick, Prime should come on and host this show, and we should all be here with Prime, and he can just rib us all evening for not believing in Doherty, but it's not going to happen. So there we go.
There we go. Prime, we will see your comment once we go offline. But gentlemen, again, thank you very much for a late Friday night. I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Bar Alan, of course.